Hello guys, happy new financial year. Hey, this week I had intended on a topic and I started researching the topic, completely geeked out, and the topic's now become a 3-week series. So initially I was thinking about this, right? You've probably heard it before. At the moment, we've got 3 people working for every 1 person retired, and that's great because we can afford roads and police and hospital and ambulance and fireys and all that stuff. But in the future, with our age, living longer and more people being retired, we're going to have 1 person working for every 3 retired. How are we going to afford all that and the age pension? I've heard it before, I've said it before, and I'm starting to wonder, is it true? What are the actual numbers? So I started to research it and I just geeked out on all things age pension. So this week, what we're going to talk about is a history of the age pension. And let me tell you, it is fascinating. Let's have a look. A short history of the age pension in Australia. I bet you're going to learn something new today. All right. In the beginning, a royal commission was held on old age pensions in 1905, 1906, resulting in legislation being passed in 1908, and the age pension started 1 July 1909. It was available from age 65 for men and 60 for women. One thing to note, life expectancy for a male born in 1909 was 55, female was 59. You were never supposed to get it. You were already supposed to be dead. There you go. All right, let's go past that fact. And how were you eligible? Well, to be eligible, applicants were required to be residing in Australia when claiming a pension, to have continuously resided in Australia for at least 20 years, to be of good character. I don't know how they figured that one out, but I like to think they called it the shithead rule. To have not deserted or failed to maintain their wife, if they're a husband, or deserted their husband, if they're a wife, in the preceding 5 years without just cause. They breached the shithead rule. Or to have not deserted if they're a mother, or failed to maintain, if they're a father, any children under 14 years of age in the preceding 5 years. I told you, it's fascinating. Some interesting history. The initial pension, the pension that started on 1 July 1909, was $52 per annum, $1 a week. Pension rates were reduced in 1931 as part of the emergency financial measures taken during the Depression. In 1931, it was $91 per annum. It dropped to $78 per annum the next year, back up to $91 the year following. The old age pension was renamed the age pension in 1947, so as not to offend the old people. The 20-year requirement of residency was reduced to 10 years in March 1962. Rates of payment were reorganised from 1963 so that a standard rate was paid to unmarried people and a married rate was paid to married people. Prior to that, it was the same rate both ways, I assume. The age pension became subject to income tax in 1973. From March 1974, you could pay the age pension to those living outside Australia, but there were a few boxes you had to jump. Also in 1974, they removed the shithead. They didn't remove that. The requirement to be of good character and deserving was removed. I don't know how they figured that out prior, but I do like the fact that it was there. The age of eligibility for women increased gradually from 1995. So it was age 60, and then it jumped up by 6 months every 2 years until that reached 65 in 2013, which was then the same age as men. A member of a couple was changed to include same-sex couples in 2009, and legislation was passed in 2009 to increase the age of eligibility from 65 to 67. Again, a 6-month increase every 2 years. And if you want to find out what that looks like, that's it there. So if you were born on these dates, this is the date or the age at which you are eligible for the age pension. All right. What about participant numbers? So I said it started in 1 July 1909. So that first year, there were 65,492 people that received the age pension of $1 a week. So I've done some numbers here every 10 years. I guess what's most interesting for me is the percentage increase. 50, 50, 75, 22% at that point. 60, 44, 70%. 1970 to 1980 saw a 70% increase. 1980 to 1990 saw a 1.4% increase. Interesting to note, each of these years in here, they actually started going backwards, and then it snuck back up to positive territory for that 10-year period. 30% increase, 1990 to 2000. 25 increase, 2000, 2010. I haven't looked into those numbers, but I will put the link in the email to this document, which is some fascinating reading, showing you, you can go through and geek out on it like I did as well. All right, that is week 1. Next week, we're going to talk about the income test, the asset test, all the eligibility, what they currently are, what you needed to do across all those years. And the week after that, I'm going to get to what my intention was this week and say, how many people are working? How many people are retired? Of those retired, how many are on the age pension? What's the history look like? What's the trend look like? Is there going to be an age pension in 20, 30, 40 years? Are we going to be able to rely on it? All those questions, 2 weeks' time. Hey, new financial year. Let's make it a good one. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.